Hello students and welcome to Strixhaven, the most prestigious university for magical learning in Magic's multiverse. We have things to show you today, including some new mechanics, a ton of sweet card previews, and lots more. Everything you'll need for your first day at the most magical university ever. So join us as we take a tour of Strixhaven, School of Mages.
Yep, you're good. I was grabbing it. It's quieter than the intro.
Hey everyone, I'm Jimmy Wong, and I'll be your tour guide today as we learn all about Strixhaven, School of Mages. Now, of course, this is no ordinary school, and here to help us explain the history of it, the one and only Taylor Ingverson from Wizards of the Coast. Hey Taylor, how's it going, man?
Hey Jimmy, thanks for having me on. Are you super excited to learn about Strixhaven?
Yes, I'm beyond stoked because I get to relive college parties, throwing the frisbee on the quad, partying late at night, and playing Arena till 3 a.m. and my mom can't stop me. And there are no tests today, right?
Not today, and I'm not gonna test you today, so no worries on that.
Yeah, that lag was on
let's
their
hear
stream.
about
I didn't
Strixhaven.
lose any frames there.
So
Sorry about that.
Strixhaven is Magic's most prestigious university that focuses on higher magical learning. It's separated into 5 unique colleges that all have their own unique magical flair and approach to their spellcasting. So when you go to Strixhaven, you, the player, get to decide which college is the best fit for you.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like figuring out where you fit in, what crowd you're gonna hang out with, or what commander play group you're gonna play with.
Even more important, it's also about the type of magic you want to use and want to study, and more importantly, like, it's also gonna define and help you sort of find your own voice in what kind of mage you would like to be and how you would like to affect the world that you're living in for future generations to come. So once you pick your college, you get to wear your school colors with pride and compete against rival colleges and have awesome magical duels with other students.
Thanks, Snow.
Okay, so this is amazing. Sounds like one of the first things we need to do is figure out which college we all want to go to.
Yeah, so there's no rush on that either. Like, in fact, you get the entire first year to go around to all the other colleges and figure out which one's the best fit.
Oh, okay. So I'm getting ahead of myself, but carry on. What else is there?
So Strixhaven was near and dear to all of us, and as we were working on building this thing up, what was most important to us was to just build an awe-inspiring university for a safe place of learning and an accepting place that no matter what you were welcome there. So something that we also really wanted to do to give it a unique flair is take all the areas of study and visually build a language to help describe what that college is about. Of course, Strixhaven lives on the plane of Archavios.
Oh, a new plane.
Yeah, new plane, so exciting. It's so full of wonder and mystery and big, magical, mysterious creatures. So this is the best place for you to come and learn and hone your skills and decide who you want to be as a mage.
Wow.
And actually going and getting accepted to Strixhaven.
Yeah, it looks like they did a good job with the
an
look and
incredible
feel of the new
honor
plane.
all across Archavios.
I'm sort of getting this warm fuzzy feeling like the first time I picked up a Magic deck and was like, I like this color, I don't like that color. So Strixhaven kind of got that vibe to it too?
A little bit, yeah, absolutely. The different colors will allow you to do different forms of magic and sort of express yourself in different ways. So there will definitely be some that are like, this one's not for me, or like, absolutely, this is what I'm about, oh my gosh, I can't wait.
Okay, I love it. Okay, well, speaking of the best at this school, well, let's talk about some of the planeswalkers we're gonna see on this set. Are there any famous alumni that players are gonna recognize?
Oh, heck yeah. So there will absolutely be characters that will recognize at this school. Because of its prestige, it attracts all sorts of familiar faces from all over. First up, we have the twin planeswalkers, Rowan and Will. Let's take a look.
Ooh, when you say let's take a look at their cards, you mean let's take a look at their card? Because this is a Moldo double-face card on both sides. We have Rowan, Scholar of Sparks.
Interesting.
And on the back side, Will, Scholar of Frost. Now they're scholars. This is pretty exciting.
Yeah, they were actually sent there to Strixhaven by
Damage to
Kasmina
each
to
opponent.
test
You
both
draw
their
3 or
magical
more cards
skills
this turn,
and their
deal 3 plus
character.
damage to
So
opponent.
let's take a peek
I don't
at
wanna-
Kasmina.
Kasmina, Enigma Sage.
Oh, we saw Kismina already.
I was hoping to see Kasmina again soon, and because she is very clearly someone that likes magic, this seems like the perfect place for her to be.
Well,
And
I'll
of
pull
course,
up all the
Borderless
cards at the
looks
very
awesome
end and
as
we'll
well.
walk
Is that
through 'em.
an owl or a familiar that is on her staff?
Yeah, it's her owl. Super cool. So then we'll have Luca, who's still coming to terms with his power and is drawn to this kind of crazy, mysterious presence of these dark mages called the Auric.
Oh, nice. I love the action pose here. What's he on his way to? Like, is he late for class or is he doing something cooler?
Being late for class can be quite the adventure in itself.
I'm very used to that adventure.
Also, there's another one. So
Yeah, it's a
there's
lot of
this
planeswalkers.
mysterious planeswalker who's a professor in the mix, check out Professor Onyx.
Professor Onyx. And it's got Magecraft, a new mechanic from Strixhaven we'll learn about later. Oh, Professor Onyx, legendary planeswalker. Wait a minute. Professor Onyx, I mean, don't you, it says it right here, don't you mean Lily?
No, I mean, Professor Onyx. You got it the first time, right?
Professor Onyx, but then you just keep reading, and then it says literally on the card. It literally says Lily Onyx.
Yep, Professor Onyx.
It's
She's
cute that
so
they did
cool.
this.
I'm so excited that you're intrigued by her, Jimmy.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like an ongoing theme here of planeswalkers impersonating other people, but it seems like it's ripe for a great story, so I'm pretty excited for that. Wow. All these planeswalkers look great. I'm always excited to see some of my favorite characters. Casmina I'm really stoked about. There's so much history and prestige here. I get the idea that this school has to have been around for a long time, right?
Oh, it has, absolutely. But I bet you didn't guess that it was founded by 5 magically casting dragons 700 years ago.
Okay.
And before you ask, I know it's the first thing on your mind, but I unfortunately, I don't know what 700 years in dragon time translated to for human years.
It's like the blink of an eye, dude.
Right, yeah, maybe some.
Are we gonna get dragons?
But of particular importance in Strixhaven is the biblioplex, the library that's located in the central heart of Strixhaven. And if you ever get lost and you don't know where to find it, all you need to do is look up and follow the torches of enlightenment. That will take you directly there.
Okay, usually I use my Maps app, but this seems a little smarter.
Yeah. So the biblioplex is incredible. It's full of vast spaces and all sorts of unique studying opportunities, and is said to hold every single spell in the multiverse.
Wait, every single spell?
Every single one. Do you want to count them, Jimmy?
Okay, yeah, I'll see you in about 10 years.
So it's also home to the thing called the Mystical Archive, which holds Magic's most powerful spells.
Okay, that
And
sounds really
new
cool.
cards
I
for
love the idea of
historic
mages
chat.
coming from all around. As a commander player, you just told me that there are legendary dragons, which is pretty much the origin of that format.
Absolutely. So the Mystical Archive is something that is unique to Strixhaven, and it's a curated list of 63 of the most recognizable instants and sorceries from Magic's history. So here comes the fun bit. You'll always get Archive in each draft booster, and 1 in each set booster. And in collector boosters, the Mystical Archive cards feature a new foil etched treatment.
Ooh.
So in addition to your at least 1 traditional foil Mystical Archive, you also get 2 foil etched Mystical Archive cards.
1 in every single booster pack? Okay, that's a lot of bling here. Can we, in the audience here, take a look at some of them, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's check out
Yes, the
Duress,
Mystical Archives are all
Lightning
reprints.
Bolt, and Time Warp.
My goodness, look at that art, the new frame.
Okay,
This is
so
really cool. I
there's
think
going to be
this really
63 of
exemplifies
these,
the power of these cards,
and
also, it
7
adds
of
really
them
cool
will
library
not be
flexibility
legal
to
and
it.
historic,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
56 of them will be.
Particular cards to feel like
I
they were
assume
inscribed
Bolt
in
is
the
not gonna be
tomes that
historic
you
legal.
find
We'll
in
find
biblioplex
out.
themselves.
So
if you think
Swords
this
to
is
Plowshares
cool,
and Demonic
that's
should
not all
not
that
be
shit is
historic
gonna be
legal.
included. So included in that
Time
is
Warp
a
probably
Japanese
will be.
exclusive variant. And these variants to the Mystical Archive have beautiful special alt art treatments and only exist in Japanese.
I'm just blown away by this. These look beautiful.
Oh, that's so good to hear. You can get these in Japanese set and draft boosters and in all language collector boosters. But the alt art will always be in the Japanese language. And yes, you heard it correctly. The Mystical Archive marks the return of foil etched cards. Each Mystical Archive card, both global and Japanese variants, will come in standard, foil, and foil etched. So with the foil etch being exclusive to collector boosters. So I know that's all awesome, but I also know it's a lot of stuff. So did you get all that?
Let me check the notes I did not take. Okay, shiny and pretty. I want them. Yep, that's about it. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty and shiny. That essentially just wraps it all up in a nice little bow.
Yeah, seriously, right? This looks amazing. Thank you again, Taylor, so much for giving us this backstory of Strixhaven.
Yeah, absolutely. It was absolutely my pleasure, Jimmy. I'm so happy to help.
Did you? Hey, who threw that? Did you see that?
I did not.
Well, looks like we have some troublemakers in class today, but I have a door to get to, and I will not let them distract me. So thank you again, Taylor. We'll see you around. I gotta get going.
See you, Jimmy.
Now, we know that going to college is one of the most important steps in any young mage's life, and at Strixhaven, we are here for you every step of the way. From financial aid to career services, spell insurance, protection against mana flood, We will guide you through the entire enrollment process.
I want mana
Going
flood
to college
insurance,
means
Chet.
learning new things, and I can't tell you just how excited I am to learn about the new mechanics from Strixhaven. And to help me do so, we got just the man for it, Mike Turian. Hey, Mike.
Hey, what's up, Jimmy? How's the school tour going?
Pretty good. It's a lot of fun so far. I'm looking into the school. I might make a decision at the end of the day here, but first I gotta find out about mechanics because that's gonna really shape my decision.
Yeah, well, in addition to the modal DFCs returning, like you saw with Rowan and Will, we have 2 new mechanics we're introducing with Strixhaven. The first of the new mechanics I want to talk about is Magecraft.
Ooh.
Yeah, Magecraft, it's a really great mechanic, and the reason we brought Magecraft into Strixhaven was Strixhaven's a world all about spells, and Magecraft rewards you for casting or copying instants and sorceries. So Magecraft is a great fit.
Yeah, that sounds very fitting, obviously. Lots of mages, lots of spells, and lots of power.
Yeah, exactly. The Magecraft mechanic, it's set up that whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, you get a bonus, like a counter, life gain, extra abilities.
Oh,
Hey,
so
let's
there's a
take look at an
variety of things
example.
that they do.
This is Dragon's Guard Elite.
Dragon's Guard Elite, 1 in the green for a 2/2 creature, human druid. Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Dragon's Guard Elite. Pay 4 green. Double the number of +1/+1 counters on Dragon's Guard Elite. Very nice. Oh, I'm sure you love seeing a pushed 2-drop, don't you? This is pretty interesting here. We haven't seen the cast or copy text in a while, have we?
Yeah, that's one of the ways we really made Magecraft special is you both get the bonus when you cast the instant or sorcery or when you copy it. So if you happen to be playing a Storm deck, you can get lots and lots of Magecraft triggers.
Hey, don't encourage anyone, Mike.
And Dragon's Guard Elite, it's also the Buy a Box promo for Strixhaven. The promo has an alt art and is in foil with that extended art frame. So early applicants, you should apply at your local game store.
Not a bad idea.
So the Dragon's Guard Elite's really awesome, but let's check out another example of Magecraft. This is Archmage Emeritus.
Archmage Emeritus, 2 blue for a 2/2 creature human wizard.
Dice to
Magecraft.
stomp.
Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, draw a card.
And so
Step on me,
here,
daddy.
You get to draw more cards. And what are you going to draw when you're getting those Magecraft triggers? Probably
Couldn't make
more
this a
instants and
2/3.
sorceries. How
It's
about
not just
drawing all
about
those
dice to
cards?
Doomblade, chat.
Yeah,
It's
this is
about
great.
dice,
There's
the
no
most
limit
commonly
to it,
played
so
removal
I
spell in the
guess we really
format.
are
If it was a
encouraging people to play
1/3, it would be much better.
Right, you just draw as much as you want. Just make sure to stop before you draw your whole library.
Good call.
I
And the
think there's a
Archmage
chance that card
Emeritus
could be
has a
playable at
bonus
1/3.
promo,
At
which
2/2, the
is
stat line
foil
is
and
not
alt
good
art
enough.
Also,
Nice. I love these alt arts, especially because, as a commander player, you always want to choose the version that best fits your deck and how it looks.
yeah, that's exactly it. We love giving those fun collectible variants, so that way you can build a deck and really bling it out to make it special and customized just for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And let me show you one more. This is the Eager First Year.
Eager First Year, 1 in the white for a 2/2 creature, human wizard.
Another great 2-drop. Here, the Eager First Year gets a power bonus whenever you cast an instant or sorcery or copy it.
Nice.
So if you take a look at that art, that
Hey, look,
little
it's one of those
bubble
limited cards we were
floating in
talking
her hand,
about.
As a first year, that's the only spell she knows, but I expect her to level up pretty fast.
Wow,
at,
it's not
Strixhaven.
worse prowess,
I love
chat.
it
It
when
gets
you
a
get to
bonus
see
when
the
you
limited
copy
version
spells
of
too.
a
It's
new
not
mechanic all the
strictly
way up to
better.
sort of the competitive playable version in
Actually.
another format, so that's great to see.
So the second new mechanic we're introducing in Strixhaven also highlights the element of school, and it's called Learn. So the way that Learn works is it pairs up with a lesson card. You take a lesson card from outside the game and put it into your hand. Or if you want, you can just discard a card and draw a card instead if there's no lesson that's really appealing to you. So let's take a look at the Learn keyword here with the Professor of Symbology.
Professor of Symbology, 1 in the white for a 2/1 creature, core cleric. When Professor of Symbology enters the battlefield, learn. You may reveal a lesson card you own from outside the game and put it into your hand, or discard a card to draw a card.
The professor, she's teaching her Lorehold students
For
a
reference,
lesson,
outside
and so
the
in
game
this
in
case,
tournament
we're gonna
magic
go
means your
and switch out,
sideboard
pest
only.
summoning.
Pest Summoning, Sorcery, Lesson. Create 2 1/1 black and green pest creature tokens with, when this creature dies, you gain 1 life.
You get a nice creature, and then you can go and fetch and get some 1/1s that'll give you a little bit of a life bonus.
Wow.
Pretty adorable art too, huh?
Yeah. This is really interesting because the idea of learning is you're teaching something to someone and you're pulling the
this is a best of one mechanic.
Kind of like you're grabbing it from outside the game, and you put the card in your hand. That's amazing.
This feels like a best of one mechanic.
Exactly right, Jimmy. Learn and lesson, of course, Strixhaven University, it just pairs so well.
Right.
It's like, hey, you're here to accumulate knowledge, and let's go and find the exact lesson that fits. It's a ton of fun to both draft and play in Constructed because there's just that really fun puzzle of, hey, what card do I want to go and get this time?
Right.
Let's take a look at a few more lesson and learn cards. Here's Pop Quiz.
Pop quiz. 2 in the blue for an instant. Draw a card. Okay, so
This
Pop
is kind of a
Quiz,
neat
this person's
control
clearly
card.
Struggling with something here, but they get a draw card.
Depending on what lessons
But let's
exist.
say you
So,
don't
like,
have a lesson, then this card just reads draw a card and then discard.
It's
draw
not
another
divination.
card.
That's
It's draw a
exactly
card,
it.
discard a
On the
card,
rare
draw a
cases
card.
that the lesson that you'd be fetching isn't what you wanted, you can just dig into your deck a little bit more. It's sort of the backup plan because typically you're going to be having a lesson that you can go and learn for.
Right, absolutely. And then confront the past. X and a black for a sorcery lesson. Choose one. Return target planeswalker card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Or remove twice X loyalty counters from target planeswalker and opponent controls. For our fellow Vorthos players, this is a very significant moment that Liliana seems to be embracing here or looking into the mirror of, and this is just packed with value too.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, she's remembering that moment where Gideon reached out and saved her. You can see that there in the art. And then, yes, for those who are actually casting the spell, it does an awful lot.
Card seems reasonable.
Right?
Yeah, I don't think we've seen that sort of direct from graveyard to battlefield individual planeswalker, especially with an X cast in it too. That's really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the second part, you know, you can use that to remove one of your opponent's planeswalkers pretty effectively.
Yeah, it's like
So-
two sides of the mirror, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. You see that in the art, you see that in the mechanics. We always try to bring fun, resonant mechanics into our worlds, and Learn Lesson really lets us amplify that.
Yeah, that's really neat. I'm super excited for this. I just love being able to do stuff that seems like it's like, wow, of course you should be able to do something like that in Magic. So thanks so much for teaching us about these new mechanics, Mike. I knew I could count on you. Now it's time to finish our tour.
Hey, Jimmy, it looks like someone hit you there in the arm with a paper airplane.
Yeah, you are right about that, Mike. Now I need to figure out who is this freaking hooligan. I'll see you soon.
Good luck, Jimmy.
I'll need it.
And now the time has come for each and every one of you to choose your college. Representatives from each college will join this afternoon in room 118 of Wadsworth Hall. As a reminder, Wadsworth Hall is located on the northwest corner of the southernmost eastern quad. They're going to be there for a free informational recruitment fair. Come for the information, stay for the free pizza and fruit punch.
As we mentioned earlier, Strixhaven is divided into 5 unique colleges, and here to explain the intricacies of all of them is Doug Beyer. Hey Doug, how's it going?
Hey Jimmy, how are you liking Strixhaven so far?
I am loving it, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little intimidated. 5 completely different schools, so many details I don't know. Can you tell me a little bit more? I feel like I got a big decision ahead of me.
You sure do, but don't worry, there isn't a right or wrong choice here. It's more about finding what best suits your style. So, the 5 colleges of Strixhaven are called Lorehold,
That's unnecessary,
Prismari,
Tumos.
Quandrix, Silverquill, and Witherbloom. Each college is associated with an enemy 2-color pair, and they each have their own campus, faculty, magical specialties, identity, logos, mascots.
Okay, wow, this is pretty in-depth. It's like a real school.
Yeah, each college is unique, and you'll see representations of them throughout the entire set that expresses that identity. You're going to find card cycles that are specific to colleges, and each card that's associated with the college has its own logo watermark, like you see here on Pest Summoning.
That makes perfect sense. So each college is tied to a color pair, and they have their own flavor of
And
magic
this is the
school.
college is
Yeah,
Hugo
you
the
got it.
janitor.
There's
Yes,
also
exactly.
5 commander
It's
decks
ready to
in
clean up.
Strixhaven, and they each align with a college. See, there's an intense rivalry between these colleges, and they get to battle it out with each other in magical duels. It's part of Strixhaven's special sport called Mage Tower.
Wait, hold up. You gotta tell me more about Mage Tower. That sounds amazing.
All right, the rules of Mage Tower are simple. There's 2 opposing teams. They meet in the school's large stadium alongside their mascots. There's 3 phases of play. So each mascot sits on top of that giant mage tower, and then the goal is to steal the other team's mascot and transport it over to your side. The thing is, all magic is legal, except any magic that would physically harm a player or a mascot or somebody in the stands or the stadium. But other than that, so each phase is 20 minutes long, and then a winner is declared.
Wow, I love that. I mean, that's like, why don't we just change all Friday Night Magic just to be Mage Tower instead?
That's right. So we're going for that classic feeling of like school pride and classmate camaraderie.
Okay, well, with all this information, I am definitely ready to sign up, but I still have to figure out which college matches me the best, so let's go through them.
Sure thing. I've actually got a few videos for you to check out. Let's start with Lorehold.
Lorehold is the college comprised of diligent researchers and daring adventurers, passionate scholars obsessed with history, who explore the past by poring over archaeological artifacts and summoning long-dead spirits. For some students, the past is a rich tapestry worthy of disciplined study, while others wear that tapestry like a cap as they jump down into a forgotten tomb. Lorehold, leave no stone unturned.
Yeah, people making comparisons to Harry Potter, like there's a lot more than Harry Potter that are like wizard school type things like this.
I know, but you know what? Sign me up for Lorehold.
Okay, hold on. Don't you want to hear a little bit more about Lorehold first?
Yes, that's probably a good idea. I am very impressionable, so what else can you tell me?
All right, so Lorehold is the College of Archaeomancy. It's represented by the colors red and white, and its mascots, the spirits. So here, let's take a look at some cards to give you a better sense of the college. First up, Lorehold Apprentice.
Wow, very nice. It almost looks like she is playing with a saga here in front of us. That's great. I love that art.
Yeah, the Lorehold use their magic
Sweet.
to bring history literally to life. So they summon ancient figures from the past and bring them into the present. So next, we have some awesome artwork for you to check out. This one for the legendary creature, Velomachus Lorehold. Velomachus is the dragon founder of Lorehold College. All the dragon founders, including Velomachus, come in their standard frame and an alt art borderless version.
The borderless version is great. It actually reminds me of a bit of older Magic, while the standard one reminds me of newer Magic, so that's awesome.
And in both his designs, you can see those scrolls that are hanging down from his body. That's an indication of the lore that he's literally holding in his body.
Oh, very thematic. I like it.
And I can show you the commander for the Lorehold Strixhaven deck. This is Osgir the Reconstructor.
Osgur the Reconstructor. Okay, this is what I'm talking about here. I love that Boros is getting more value-based tactics and having it be artifact-based.
Right, we'll look at all the cards at the very end,
School.
because they're putting them up and down longer, quicker than we can read
I don't know
them.
what you mean by what's This is Lorehold.
I'm so sorry. Lorehold. Many apologies, Doug. Well, I love what I see so far, but you're right. I should get some information about the other schools before I make a decision. So what are we going to hear about next?
All right, next up is Prismari.
Prismari are the art club members of Strixhaven, and magic is how they express themselves. Their spells can be spectacles of raw
The commander deck cards are standard
meticulous
legal.
artistic expressions. All the world's a stage.
Well, it depends on how they are.
Whether
There's
their art
sometimes
is
there's
informed
commander
by
deck cards that
mind
are standard
or
legal.
emotion, Prismari always leave a lasting impression. Prismari, express yourself with the elements.
Oh, Prismari, here I come. You know deep inside I am a theater kid.
I know you have a flair for
Brawl
the
decks are, commander decks are.
Prismari
Okay.
might be for you. They are the College of Elemental Arts, represented by the colors red and blue, along with their mascot, the Elementals. Let's take a look at some Prismari cards here. The first up here is Prismari Apprentice.
Wow, I love the art on this. You clearly see this mage controlling the red and blue sides of the school.
We really wanted to show off the opposites that are built into the enemy color combinations in Strixhaven, and Prismari especially has this like fire and ice combination going on.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And then we have the Stormkiln Artist.
Hey, I was wondering if dwarves were going to be showing up on this plane, and it looks like I have my answer here. Not to mention treasure tokens, one of my favorite mechanics in Magic.
Treasure tokens kind of represent the artistic creations of the Prismari. That's kind of a physical manifestation of their magic. And here is the dragon founder of this college, Galazeth Prismari.
You would call this a very
That's sick.
epic pose. The red and blue colors here just really pull out what's happening in the middle of the art.
All the colleges are based around the magical ethos of their founder dragon, and Galazeth Prismari has a flair for the dramatic.
He also has a flair for the kind of intimidating with the borderless art, which I love seeing.
This
Space
one's a lot
dragon.
less gorgeous. This one's like,
And lastly, the commander
really care for that
Prismari
alternative
Strixhaven
one.
deck, Zaphai, Thunder Conductor.
Wow. Okay, this guy definitely went to drama school or some sort of artistic school. I also really love in the art how the blue is coming out of the stringed instruments and the red is coming out of the horns. That's like a great detail there.
We call that a double major. Now, before you make up your mind again, we still got 3 more colleges to look at. So let's check out Quandrix.
All right.
Quandrix mages are ingenious math magicians. They study patterns, fractals, and symmetries to command power over the fundamental forces of nature. They'll solve a Rubik's Cube while proving that Dullard-Div-Mizit's second theorem completely wrong. Quandrix. Math is magic.
Of course it is, chat.
Wow, you know what? I think I could really see myself in Quandrix because I love math, not hard math. Math is for blockers, infinite combos, all that good stuff. So do you think I'm ready for Quandrix?
Well, they do have a dragon. And Quandrix is the College of Numeromancy, represented by the colors blue and green, and their mascot, the fractals, as you'll see here with Quandrix Apprentice.
Oh, very nice. The search for knowledge, you can really feel the mages at this school learning and studying and then turning that into magic cards. That's a lot of fun.
Right, the Quandrix are studying to uncover the numbers underneath reality. And let's take a look at the dragon founder of this college. Here's the art of Tanazir Quandrix.
Whoa, this is gorgeous. And I love the little Easter egg in the middle here, which is an impossible shape, but because magic is filled with art, you can draw these figures, and it's great to look at, because I think that's like a perfect example of what Quandrix
Yeah,
is
it's
about.
kind of
It
Kenny.
shouldn't work, but it clearly does.
This school look.
Use optical illusions and these, like you said, impossible polygons to kind of get across that they are hacking at the very nature of reality itself.
It seems pretty powerful. To be expected of anything with the color blue, after all. And then the borderless art as well. I love when you include these like really strong lines on top of the dragon and underneath it. It just gives it such a
This
dynamic
borderless one.
feel.
It's almost a diagram of a dragon. And we get to see another commander, this time for the Quandrix Strixhaven deck.
Check out Adrix and Neve, twin casters. Very exciting as a commander player myself. Also, it looks like we might have a little bit of a tease here for a new keyword mechanic that will be in the commander deck, so that's really cool. Players get
Ward's a
excited.
nice keyword. I like
This is a
that.
new ability to help
Oh, it
protect
is a
your most
Merfolk.
valuable creatures.
That makes sense too, right? You can't attack us unless you're paying more mana. Seems like they've outsmarted you, or they're able to dodge whatever you're doing, and you have to pay a tax on top of that. Wow. Okay. Well, the choice of colleges, it just seems to be getting harder and harder, and we still have 2 more to go.
That's right. And next up,
I
we
bet
have
Ward's
College
the new
of
evergreen keyword. Yeah, that's much better than
Silverquill wield the
hexproof.
magic of words, from inspiring battle poetry to biting arcane insults. Stylish, intimidating, and tirelessly competitive, these mages are born leaders with a razor-sharp wit and natural charisma that can be used for good or for ill. Silverquill, sharp style, sharper wit.
You know, I do love giving speeches, and I've been known to bust a rhyme or two out in my day. I might just be a Silverquill man.
Well, yes. So Silverquill.
Do they
is
reuse
College
the
of
audio
Orchids,
from Arena?
and they're represented by the colors black and white.
That's the
And
Arena
their
audio,
mascot is a
right?
creature called the Inklings. Check out Silverquill Apprentice.
Wow, this is some pretty cool art here. It definitely has this whole vibe and feel to it. I also love that people are watching it happen, which feels very Silverquill.
Silverquill love an audience. They are about performance and turning that performance into their magic.
Ooh.
Has all this been Arena audio? I thought some of it was new.
And we have another dragon founder. Let's look at
This
the
is the
art
first
of
one I've
Shidrix
recognized.
Silverquill.
Maybe I just haven't been paying enough
Wow.
attention.
You know what I really love about this piece is that it almost looks like the dragon's actions are painting the landscape with that dark, sort of misty color.
Yeah, that's kind of the expression of the light and darkness of Silverquill and this flowing magical ink that's through a lot of their magic.
That's awesome. And then this borderless art is something I would 100% just hang up on my wall. It's great. I love how it starts really bright at the top and just has the full spectrum of white and black.
It turns out that artists get really excited when we tell them this is a study in ink, which is a medium you already use.
Yeah, no kidding. And it just brings out, it evokes an entirely different mood. So that's great. Silverquill really feels really unique in that fashion.
And yes, we do have another commander. This is Brina the Demagogue, the commander for the Silverquill Strixhaven deck.
Again, commanding an audience, and amazing too, because it really feels in
The old
flavor when
bird
your opponents
warlock
are attacking
shit.
each other. You're the one that gets the benefit off of it too.
And Brina is an Aven. I think this is the first time in Magic we have a bird warlock as its type line.
Really? Okay, perfect. Okay.
The
well,
Aven,
just
I
one
miss
more college
them.
to go, then I can finally make my decision, right?
We haven't had Avens in
And the
forever,
last
chat.
college is Witherbloom.
Ooh, okay.
Witherblooms are the goth biomagers of Strixhaven. They draw power from the essence of living beings, whether that means enhancing nature or exploiting it. Witherbloom mages are most at home riding zombie crocs, picking herbs for potions, and hanging out in their swamp, making grim jokes. Witherbloom, get your hands dirty.
Well, 5th time's the charm, they say. I do love the outdoors, and I don't mind getting my hands a little dirty. What else is there to know?
Well, the Witherbloom are the College of Essence Studies, represented by the colors green and black, and their mascots, the pests. Let's look at Witherbloom Apprentice.
Okay, this art is fantastic, and I love how you literally can see and feel the effects of both parts of the name, Wither and Bloom, right there in the art.
These are
Yeah, I
kind
agree,
of the
Lucas.
pre-med of Strixhaven, and this is why you go pre-med, right? Is the power over life and death.
Right, yeah, and to just be able to mix stuff together and see what happens.
And let's look at the art of the Final Dragon founder, Belladros Witherbloom.
Sick.
Okay, this is a nefarious looking founder here, and
Their
I
mascot
have
is
the
Twitch
colors,
chat, the
black and
pests.
green, seems perfect.
Yeah, we really played up the internal lighting in the environment and in the dragon, Belladros Witherbloom.
Yeah, and I love how you can really see more details in the borderless art of whatever's hanging out inside those trees, that glowing stuff. It just makes me feel like there's a project or something going on inside.
Those are actually classrooms for the Witherbloom College.
Oh, awesome. Oh man, this is making the choice even harder.
And I have one last commander to show you. This is Willow Dusk, Essence Seer. She's the commander for the Witherbloom Strixhaven deck.
Again, I have to give the kudos to the art here. I love just this sort of magic that's coming out of the ground, the earth, the alchemy, everything that's going on here just feels perfectly black-green.
She's very witchy. These are our kind of biogoths of the university. So they are using magic over death and life.
Okay, well, we saw all 5. I thought the choice would be easier. Turns out it's even harder than before. I'm officially stumped. Is there anything else I should look at before I consider my final decision?
Well, you could also check out the cycle of dual lands.
Check out the new lands. Each of these lands tap for 2 colors of mana.
We're finishing the
If you
hand
meet
land
requirements on the
cycle.
card, then they enter the battlefield untapped.
5 colleges are also represented here on the Snarls.
Oh, amazing. Yes. And each of these, again, like all of the art of the schools I love so much because it really brings out the color pairings. And you can see it right here in the lands as well.
The Snarls are places where 2 opposing
Yeah,
forces
it's
of mana come
awkward
together
that these
and
are going to be in
swirl
standard with the
in this
pathways at the
mashing
same
pattern
time.
like this.
That's great. I love the word snarl too. Well, Doug, I've got a lot to think about, so I think I actually just need a little bit more time.
They
before I
will
sound
play
too
okay with
much.
triomes.
That's totally understandable.
Oh, but before we go, something really cool I wanted to announce. Magic the Gathering is teaming up with Rock Love Jewelry. In celebration of Magic fans everywhere, Rock Love Jewelry is coming out with a special Magic-inspired jewelry line, and it's coming out April 15th at 9 a.m. If you want to see the full set, make sure you visit their website, because you don't want to miss out.
Those are really nice.
Yeah, I really like this one. Okay. Someone is seriously messing with me,
In
Doug.
celebration
I
of
need to go figure
money
this out.
everywhere.
Thank you so much for giving me all the deets.
Good luck, Jimmy.
Thanks. All right, everyone, that wraps up our Strixhaven tour. And Sean, what are you doing here?
Hey, Jimmy. I was just working on my application to Strixhaven. And look, come here. I have a request. I'm wondering if you can write for me a letter of recommendation.
1, okay, sure, I'd love to. But 2, paper airplane, Sean, come on, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, what'd you expect?
Yeah, you're right. Well, look, now that you're here, you may as well tell them about the launch of Arena on mobile.
Jimmy, I would be delighted to. It is my pleasure to announce that the wait for Magic the Gathering Arena on mobile is finally over. Starting today, they'll be rolling out on all sorts of supported iOS and Android phones and tablets.
Ooh, all right, so that means I can rep my college on my phone now.
Indeed you can, Jimmy. You can pre-order and play Strixhaven on PC, mobile, whatever you like. And if you log onto mobile between now and April 30th, You can get a cool free Thopter pet.
Ooh, that is so exciting. I can't wait to play Arena on mobile.
But wait, Jimmy, there's more.
Okay, yeah, what's that?
I am pleased to announce that coming up right now is the world premiere for the Magic the Gathering Arena mobile launch video, which stars, guess who? It's literally me, Jimmy.
Perfect. Well, I can't wait to check it out. Let's see it.
Sean, just slow down. You gotta let the game come to you.
No, you gotta attack, man. You got him on the ropes. Right now. You gotta.
Thank you.
What?
Thanks. Thanks, guys.
It's almost like Zen. Relax.
You gotta channel your anger. You turn it into rage and violence.
Danny, where did you come from?
Boring Clex. That's what you should add to your deck for the late game.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Just save cards for the late game. None of this would be happening if you would just use a Torbran Red aggro deck.
Guys, seriously, stop eating my cereal.
Oh, wait, that's you?
Boring Clex.
I would like to proudly present.
Oh, drum roll.
Drum roll. Come on. Yeah. I give you the chore wheel. Oh, come on.
I made that.
Look at that. See, this way we can keep track of things that are going on in the house. Okay, let's see what's gonna be. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Sean, wash the dishes. Yeah, but Tuesday.
But I'm the only name on here.
I mean,
The chore wheel has spoken. Whoa.
Okay.
Hey, I found these under my bed. Might want to let them soak.
Okay.
hey, Sean. Turn 2, old growth troll. Turn 5, victory.
Nice.
That's what happens when you play aggressive, man. Oh, dude, let these soak. Let's go play a game.
That's a great idea. I'm gonna let these soak.
No.
With Magic the Gathering Arena on mobile, you can play Arena wherever you go. Whether it's at home or if you're heading out for some peace and quiet, Arena's the perfect game to keep in your pocket and play anywhere.
Become the game. The goblin will not hurt you.
It's hurting my feelings.
Yes! This is so awesome. I finally get to play Arena on my phone.
Oh, can't wait.
Yeah, and hey, I think that just about wraps it up here. Look, if you're still having trouble deciding what college you want to go to, stick around because next week, it's recruitment week. We're gonna have tons of special guests. You can figure out what college you're going to join. And of course, we got some special stuff coming up for pre-release weekend as well. All right, everyone, thanks so much, and we will
see you next time.
Sean, that's my line.
I'm sorry, Jimmy. I'm just trying to help.
Okay, all right. Thanks, everyone, and we will see you next time.
Next time.
Yeah, all right. That was pretty good.
Jimmy, you're so good at those
Oh,
outros.
stop.
How did you do that?
How did you throw all those paper airplanes?
Oh, I don't know. I need an outlet for my creativity. It's kinetic art.
Sean's a treat. I feel like we should watch the Japanese Arena commercial together again for the people that weren't here earlier so we can compare them together. That's a good thing to clip in there at the end. I appreciate that. Wizards has been very good in their response to... Wizards has been very good to their response to things surrounding COVID with regards to organized play. Seth, thank you for the 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Are we done? All right. This is done. Let's watch. If you didn't watch the Japanese commercial with us earlier, it's great. I'll do it with sound this time.
マジック・ザ・ギャザリング待望のモバイル版の登場で毎日がかなり充実しているよっしゃ佐藤君ちょっ ちゃった。部長の話長いんだよな。
そこでだ。これまで以上にシンプルかつ革新に迫るプレゼン資料をね、佐藤君、君にお願いしたくてね。わかるかな。
こうも長いと眠たくなってくんな。
おい佐藤君。佐藤。
はい、起きてます。
いいか佐藤。明日という日は今日それを迎える準備をしている者のためにあり、戦略を磨くんだ。はい。
マジック・ザ・ギャザリングアリーナモバイル、いつでもどこでも遊べるんだ自由に。
本性を増やせ。そうすれば道は開く。
はい。戦略で磨け己の力、世界中のみんなとつながれるのさ。
挫折することで人は強くなる。恐れることなく前に進むのだ。
はい。誰でも無料で楽しめるのさ。迫力満載スマホゲーム、みんなでプレイしよう。どこまでも自由に、どこまでも刺激的に、時間忘れて世界中の人と対戦できる。マジックをその手に。マジック・ザ・ギャザリングアリーナモバイル新登場。
Can confirm my boss turns into a goblin. I do say, I do appreciate the commitment to flavor that they were playing a Grixis deck and they were losing. Like, that's nice. That's accurate. Chat. Prepare your assets, chat. We're going in. Look at that. Are you ready? Do you have your assets prepared? Look at it. Oh, we even get to wait for the server on mobile. Look at that. Ooh, it does work on cell phones. Fancy. The real experience. We should reposition the camera and play some mobile games. No, let's not do that. Let's pretend to not do that. Oh, yeah, thank you for linking that again, Kate. Let's take a look at some of the cards together. There's some other extra cards in here. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on it, and it gains haste until end of turn. And then you also learn. Expanded armory. Put 2/1 counters on target creature, gains vigilance. Yeah, the learn mechanic seems. The article also confirms Ward is the new evergreen. That's great. Yeah, the learn mechanic, for people that weren't here a second ago when they went over it, is these are. Learn means you can grab a lesson card from outside of the game. And again, outside of the game in constructed means your sideboard. So if there's constructed playable lessons, like, are probably going to mostly be a best of one mechanic as opposed to best of three. Seems like a neat limited mechanic, though. I wonder if they'll update the EDH rules to allow learn to be a mechanic there, because I know EDH usually doesn't let you wish for things, right? And a couple of Magecraft's a keyword that says when you cast an insert sorcery spell, you get a thing. This is a limited card. This is maybe a constructed card in the fall after Stomp rotates, but very almost assuredly not one right away. All right, and then Ward's the new keyword. Ward is just like less crappy hexproof, because let's be honest, hexproof sucks, chat. So I really like this new keyword. So Ward says if it's targeted, you have to pay extra mana or it gets countered. I'm not sure remember how to make magic sets without more modal double face cards. God bless. Plarg, Dean of Chaos. Rummage. Plarg is quite the name. 5 mana, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-legendary, non-land card with mana value 3 or less. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Put all cards. It's kind of a neat design. Other tapped creatures you control get 1 attack. Untapped creatures you control get 1 defense. When you attack Untap each creature you control. Wait, what? When you attack, untap each creature you control, then tap any number of creatures you control. Oh, weird. So you get to like twiddle and diddle all of your things. Yeah, it's like, this is a fun design where it can give you vigilance, but it also can give you extra attack. Yeah, it has some neat synergies with things that tap and untap. I will say, we'll note that both of these are legendary. So like you can play 4 of this card very easily. And honestly, this synergizes with this, right? Like this lets you untap so you can rummage again. Yeah, this has some synergies in Historic with things that exert. But yeah, this is sweet. Yeah, you could literally like play 4 copies of this card and it curves into itself. Like this card's not super flashy, but it's probably, and this card's probably playable. That seems neat. All right, does Scryfall have spoilers from the video up yet? They do not. Does Mythic spoiler have card images from the video up yet? Wow, it doesn't look like it. Newest spoilers. Oh, we do. Okay, they're not formatted into the set yet. Got it. All right, so we got the other half of the hand lands, which these will be playable in Standard. They're likely not going to be super playable in formats like Historic and Pioneer. The existing hand lands that we have see Fringe play. I think these are probably worse than Pathways a lot of the time, but you'll definitely play them alongside Pathways inside of Standard because you just want as much fixing as possible. Notable that these do work with Triomes though, which is nice. Okay, and just to clarify, this set symbol is not Standard legal, right? So the Essenseer, Twin Casters, Demagogue. Do we know, are those coming to Arena or no? Witherbloom is a Storm Finisher, kinda. They haven't been. Okay, so they've not been coming to Arena. Okay, good to know. Yeah, Commander decks have not been on Arena. That's good to know. Yeah, I don't know. This card, honestly, looking at all of these apprentices, so look at all of these. At a glance, these apprentices, what does this one do? If you cast an instant or sorcery spell, spirit creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. Like, maybe, probably not. The one that jumps out to me as likely being playable from these is the Quandrix apprentice. Yeah, these are mostly limited cards. Again, and that's the thing, right? Like, most of these cards are draft cards, chat. Most Magic cards are just draft cards. The fact that this potentially lets you draw a card, even though it's only drawing you a land, is probably the only one I would say at a glance that looks super playable. Yeah, weird. The blue-green card is the one in the cycle that looks like it might most likely to be playable. Yeah, they're all going to be sweet limited cards, most likely. Yeah, I don't know that we really and again, just to highlight why I'm not going to do daily spoiler review for Magic stuff, looking at the stuff here, this is a maybe constructed playable card, and then if I look at everything else in here, maybe Confront the Past is a playable card, depending on how many Planeswalkers are seeing play, but honestly, you think about Standard right now, people aren't really playing that many Planeswalkers in Standard, so I don't even know that, based on the current Standard format, I expect this card to be good. Pop Quiz could maybe be a card that's playable if the lessons are worth taking up sideboard slots for. So again, this is another card where if I look at it today, it's well, maybe this is constructed playable, but I really need the full set to have a picture of what lessons are we getting to maybe make this worthwhile. So my plan again, this card, we'll take a look at the Planeswalkers here in a second. This card's probably maybe constructed playable in something. This is a sweet upgraded Quarian Dryad. And this is another, we got a modal double-faced Planeswalker. Instants and sorcery spells cost you 1 less to cast on both sides. So you could theoretically have both of these in play and make all of them cost 2 less to cast. Deals 1 damage to each opponent. If you've drawn 3 or more cards this turn, deals 3 instead. So something that's adorable with this is William and Rowan that we currently have in Standard technically synergizes with this, right? Because William and Rowan in Standard draws 2. Oh wait, did that only draw 1? It doesn't loot, right? You get an emblem with, when you cast an instant sorcery spell, you may pay 2 to copy it. It just draws 1, yeah. Up to 1 target creature has base power and toughness 0-2 until end of turn. That's actually like a pretty strong effect, right? Like, especially if you're building like a blue-red control deck. Like, blue-red, one of their issues is killing large creatures. Yeah, until your next turn. Yeah, so it makes it through their turn, and you could like plus it on something and then like kill it with a stomp or a shock or something. The draw 2 technically synergizes with this. It's an interesting design that they're making these double-faced cards that synergize with themselves. Is a neat. Yeah, and like in a worst case scenario, this is like 5 mana draw 2, and like it protects itself, right? Yeah, so it's plus protects itself. This seems like a neat design. Again, like this is a card where I feel like there's a chance that this card's not good enough in the current Standard format because, you know, think about it. Is this card better than Innkeepers for the value that it's going to generate? Probably not. Going long, is this better than just casting Ultimatum? No, probably not. So like this is something that we'll probably want to revisit in the fall, but I do feel like a lot of the cards in this set, based on the power level, we're going to have a hard time pushing into the current Standard format. Yeah, I will say again, I love the design on this card. I think the power level of this card is a good place to be. It's just that Eldraine is a really messed up set, and like, I really wish they'd rotate Eldraine earlier, ban some more cards from it, if I'm being honest. Flying double strike. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may choose between 2. Each mode must target a different player. You may choose 2. Each mode targets a different player. Target player gets a 2/1. Target player loses a life and draws a card. Target player gets a 1/1 counter on every creature they control. Wait. You may choose 2. Does this mean you have to choose 2? It's not up to 2, right? So you can't pick just 1? You get 2 or nothing? Yeah, so this is a commander. I mean, I guess it doesn't surprise me that the Elder Dragons are going to be commander cards, but again, like, you know, if I'm pulling up a set review at the end of, it's a neat design, but if you ask me to pull all of the interesting cards for Standard and Historic out of the set, like, this wouldn't make the cut. This is not a Standard playable card, almost assuredly. Each mode must target a different player. The trick is to kill their board and give them a counter. Yeah, maybe you play it. Maybe this is like fringe playable in a kill all the things deck where you like make them get 1/1 counters on their stuff and you get a token or draw a card each turn. But that seems like a lot of work that's probably worse than other payoffs that you could have. It's a reverse wrinkle. Yeah, it is kind of like that, isn't it? Yeah. So like this is, yeah. So again, it's kind of neat, I guess. Kind of neat, but Oh, we got another one here. We got another split card from somewhere, which is why I clicked back here before we were done. 4 mana, 2/2, Ward 2. When it enters the battlefield, exile an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard. Put a number of 1/1 counters on equal to half that card's mana value, rounding up. Discard a card, then draw a card. When you discard an instant or sorcery this way, it deals damage equal. Huh. That's kind of a neat design. That's one that like maybe there could be something there. Like it's a kind of removal on the front side, and it's like an okay threat on the back side. Yeah, obviously this would be better if this was an instant as opposed to a sorcery, but like this, yeah, and again, it kind of synergizes with itself. So you discard a big thing. Yeah, you could do something really cute where you like have like an 8 mana sorcery and you like discard it to this to shoot something, and then you play this and like exile and have like a 6/6 with Ward 2 for 4 mana. Another split card. Okay, 3 and 5. Yeah, the double face cards are great. I'm really glad that they've decided to push forward in this design space in general. You may exile an instant or sorcery card from your hand and put 3 home counters on it. It gains at the beginning of your upkeep. If this card is exiled, remove a home counter from it. When the last home counter is removed, if exiles away, you may cast it. Sorcery, put 3 home counters on it. It gives something suspend. It's like free suspend. So you give something suspend 3, except it only casts it if it costs 4 or less. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of each opponent's library until your turn. You may cast spells from among those. You spend mana as a color when you cast a spell from exile. Oh, it costs 4 less to cast. Not if it costs 4 or less, it's free. Okay, sure. Sure. It reduced it by 4. Good catch. Reading. Chat, I'm a Magic player. Reading's not my strong suit. This could be okay. People talking about Stomp, like, this is kind of how you make potentially a 2/2 playable in a format where Stomp is legal. Like, you can just play the back half of this card in the Stomp matchups when you're worried about that being a thing. And like, while drawing a card off your opponent's deck isn't strictly as good as drawing a card off your own every turn, it's still pretty good, right? So I think this seems like a pretty reasonable design. This could be another one where like maybe we need to wait for the power level of the format to go down a little bit with rotation again, but this is probably something that like this would make the cut of things I'll talk about when we do my full review video. Ooh, that's a good point. The last line of text on here gets counters from adventures being cast and cards being cards that were foretold. Sure. And Tybalt, technically, sure. If you're Tybalt sticking around, you're probably winning that game anyways, but yeah. I like it. Seems neat. I think that's all of it. And again, for people that weren't here earlier when we were talking about it, I am not planning to review spoilers every single day. I'll probably tweet out some random bits here and there, but my plan is we'll get the full spoiler a week before the set releases usually. So the set releases on, is it the 15th? The 15th sounds right. So we'll get the set on the 15th. So I believe we usually get a full spoiler on the 9th. You can't see my calendar behind my picture. The 9th of April. So I'll probably do a full set review of cards that I think are constructed playable and playable there. Both Bolt and Shock in Mythic Archives. Yeah. Yeah, we saw Duress, Bolt, and Time Warp. I'm assuming Bolt's not going to be in Historic. I don't know, maybe they'll surprise us, and they are. The lesson cards are standard. I'm not sure that the lesson cards work in EDH. Yeah, lesson and Magecraft are the 2 keywords. Yeah, I'd prefer Bolt not be in Historic as well. For what it's worth. Yeah, they said they're going to be maintaining a list of what's not coming to historic. So we'll see. Oh, we're getting all the deans today, someone said. Menace, lifelink. If a non-token creature the opponent controls would die, exile it instead. When you do, you may pay 2. If you do, get a 1/1 pest token. 4/4 for 4. Whenever you gain a life, you may pay 1. If you do, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Those creatures gain trampled till end of turn. It's neat. Again, another double face card. I like the design of double faced cards that synergize with themselves. By cat. Listen, chat. They're just gonna pay 3 and sacrifice their food to gain some life, and their Mayhem Devil trigger will kill your 1/1. This card is not good against cat, chat. Or it gets claimed the firstborn, or just like any other range of things that happen. Black-White Dean. Flying Vigilance. Put a 1/1 counter on each creature that enters the battlefield under your control this turn. Put a 1/1 counter on another target creature, then it deals 2 damage to that creature. When a creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it dies, draw a card. Ha. I like this design. That's sweet. It's another great one that plays well with itself. I think this one. This one seems super reasonable. Flying Vigilance is not bad. You could poke them with it and then still activate it each turn. It's technically good with Ozolith. That's true. Man, I don't know what this website is, but it's real ugly. Let's look at this one here on the site that's formatted nicely. Exile the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it into your hand. Otherwise, put a study counter on it. Create an ooze. A +1/+1 counter for each different mana value cards you control with study counters on them. Ooh, yeah, this design is great. This is lovely. So this seems reasonable. Again, like might die to stomp here, but also like has a backside that's okay that doesn't die to stomp, which is nice. Yeah, I like this side a lot. The 2 sides that I love this. You both the front and the back kind of work together. Yeah, I mean, listen, chat. Magic cards are not that wordy. Look at some Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I promise you this isn't that bad. Yu-Gi-Oh is text box the game. Yep. Really not too bad. All right. Was that all of the deans? Did we get all 5? I guess I should before I close it out. Was that all of them? One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that was all of them. Okay, and like again, like look at this right here, Introduction to Prophecy. So just to again highlight why it's tough to evaluate cards early. Scry 2, then draw a card for 3 mana. So Pop Quiz could learn you an Introduction to Prophecy. Channel will almost assuredly be banned in Historic. But like, again, and this is why, again, these cards probably won't be best of 3 constructed playable, because let's say you want to play Pop Quiz in your blue control deck. What are you going to do? Put multiple Introductions to Prophecies in your 15 sideboard slots? I almost feel like with this new lesson mechanic, I wish they'd change the rules on sideboards and outside the game for best of 3. I feel like they should give us, like, I don't know, a 5 to 10 card just wish board to make these cards better in best of 3. Like, the design space on this seems neat. But yeah, like even just like 5 cards. I don't even think you need to be 10. Yeah, just like give me slots that technically aren't sideboard slots, but they're Fey of Wishes, they're lesson slots. Just like I like this design space a lot, but it makes me sad as someone who primarily plays best of 3 constructed that I've basically been excluded from this mechanic because it just like doesn't work with how I like to play Magic. No, I don't think you want to make sideboards 20 cards, because making sideboards 20 cards doesn't suddenly make these cards playable, because at that point it's still optimal to just have 20 regular sideboard cards. I think there should probably just be a dedicated wish board, a dedicated outside the game area for constructed. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Like this is very like lesson is basically Magic taking Hearthstone's Discover mechanic or Runeterra's Invoke mechanic, which are both great mechanics. And like conceptually, I love what these are doing from a design perspective, but they're just not. They're almost assuredly not going to be good enough to play in, like, some of these are going to have to be, like, really pushed to be worth taking your sideboard slots in best of 3. Nah, I don't think the colorless cards are hinting at Eldrazi return so much as they just want flexible lessons that you can draft and include in any color draft deck. EA Maro, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Exile target non-land permanent its controller draws a card. And it's a sorcery. Yikes. Yeah, these are definitely looking like limited. Maybe there's gonna be some rare and mythic lessons that'll be really pushed, but at a glance, looks like a limited mechanic. Our guy, thanks for the follow. Maybe we'll get a colorless one that Doomblade something. It'll be playable in the like the mud deck in Historic. Like a 2 or 3 deal some amount of damage. Thanks for the follow, RY guy. All right, so that was much longer than I was expecting it to be. So I've got a sponsored segment for Mythgard that I'm going to wrap up with the last couple hours of the stream. So I'm going to be pushing, we were going to play the Abzan Fall deck. I'm going to push that back to tomorrow's stream. So we'll be playing Abzan Fall and Historic tomorrow. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to wrap on Magic stuff for the day and shift gears into some Mythgard for the last couple hours here. Apologies, Dr. Mister.